Hi everyone. So today we'll be discussing the India-US relations in the light of visit of Prime Minister Narendra Modi in the state of US, and it was his first state visit. However, he has also addressed the Congress of the US for the second time. The first time he did it was in 2016. So we'll be discussing slightly about the history of the India-US relations, ठीक है? Which did not started off great, आपको पता होगा, है ना? But now we are progressing stronger than ever. Okay? So we'll discuss the background of the relations. Okay? After that, we'll discuss all that has happened during this visit. कौन कौन से एस्पेक्ट्स में हमने कोऑपरेशन के लिए अग्रीमेंट साइन किया है, कहां कहां हमने basically we have decided to cooperate more. Okay, what is India getting out of this visit? We'll discuss each of these points section by section. Okay, so moving on, first we'll have to discuss the history of the India-US diplomat. Okay, now I'm pretty sure you are aware that the first time the diplomatic history of India-US started was in 1947. Okay, so just after the independence, India's independence, US recognized India, okay, as a state and established consular relations in 1947. However, this relations did not start off great because US made Pakistan, okay, a CENTO ally. The Central Treaty Organization, which was founded in 1954, US decided that Pakistan is a more important strategic partner, और इसके दो reasons हैं. Because US wanted to counter the influence of USSR because of the Cold War, है ना? Cold War चल रहा था, तो obviously USSR के influence को counter करने के लिए US thought that Pakistan can be a better ally than India, and this is why when the CENTO, the Central Treaty Organization, was formed, Pakistan was granted a membership to this organization. अब इसके दो reasons है. Because first, Pakistan is strategically very close to Afghanistan, okay? And Afghanistan has been a hotspot of USSR and US tensions in the past. Second, Pakistan had good relations with China, and US viewed China as one of the important countries to curb the influence of USSR. Okay, so this is why they tilted more towards Pakistan. Okay, and as a result, you know what happened. Okay, we cultivated more important strategic and military relations with the Soviet Union because we wanted to counter Pakistan and United States tie-up. Okay, so not starting on really good grounds, if you see, है ना? हमारे relations बहुत अच्छे ground पे start नहीं हुए थे, but now this will improve a bit. You'll see. So in 1961, as we have already discussed, when you will see the Egypt and India relations, है ना? Egypt and India actually were the founding members of the NAM movement, the non-alignment movement. Okay, so in the midst of the Cold War, which was going between US and the USSR, India decided no, we don't want to join any bloc. ठीक है, हम खुद का देखेंगे, हमें किसी ब्लॉक को ज्वाइन नहीं करना. And that's how we launched the non-alignment movement. Okay, however, यहाँ पर जो हमने non-alignment का pledge लिया था, we see a bit diverging from this. और इसका एक बहुत important reason क्या है? The 1971 war and the Richard Nixon administration supporting Pakistan in this 1971 war. Now I'm pretty sure you are aware about the background of the 1971 war, that how Sheikh Mujibur Rahman, okay, Sheikh Mujibur Rahman was the leader, very important prominent leader in East Pakistan, and the East Pakistanis were feeling discriminated by the West Pakistanis. ठीक है, there was a language barrier also, जहाँ West Pakistan में उर्दू majority लोग थे, East Pakistan had Bengali speaking majority. Mujibur Rahman raised his voice against this discrimination, fought elections. मुजीबुर रहमान पाकिस्तान का इलेक्शन जीत भी गए, बट उनको एक गवर्नमेंट बनाने नहीं दिया गया, एंड दिस लेड टू अ रिवोल्ट विच इंडिया सपोर्टेड, है ना? इंडिया के पास हेल्प मांगी गई, इंडिया सपोर्टेड दिस रिवोल्ट, एंड देन इंडिया पाकिस्तान वॉर स्टार्टेड. ठीक है, मल्टीपल फ्रंट्स पे इंडिया वाज फाइटिंग वेस्ट पाकिस्तान, एंड देन व्हाट हैपेंड? द निक्सन एडमिन डिसाइडेड टू सपोर्ट पाकिस्तान इन दिस, and they sent the USS Enterprise in the इंडियन ओशन, यूएसएस एंटरप्राइज इंडियन ओशन में यूएस ने भेज दिया टू सपोर्ट द पाकिस्तानी कॉज. In the meanwhile, Indira Gandhi signed a treaty of friendship with USSR, and then USSR sent a ship to counter the USS Enterprise threat. So यहाँ पर during the Richard Nixon administration, the relations were down the drain. मतलब there was nothing left between US-India relations. But after that, when the civil nuclear deal was signed between George Bush and Manmohan Singh, okay, this was a ray of hope that now India and US relations will start improving. That was also helped by the fact that the Soviet Union fell in the year 1991 and India braced itself for a unipolar world. Okay, so USSR was not a superpower anymore and US became the sole superpower, and India को भी अपने policies उस हिसाब से थोड़े tweak करने पड़े. And since then India and US relations have been increasing and they have been becoming better, especially during the Barack Obama, the Donald Trump, as well as the Joe Biden administration. US is giving India more importance. Okay, and we'll see how that is exactly happening. Now, when we talk about the visit which happened, okay, it was PM Modi's first state visit as in he was invited as the India's prime minister, okay, not just a person, him in itself, but because of the virtue of the post that he is the Indian prime minister, he was invited to the US as a state visit, okay, and this was the first state visit. However, he also addressed a joint session of the US Congress, which I have told you in the beginning. He has done it for the second time. The first time he did this was in 2016. Okay. Apart from that, what has happened that US and India have also agreed to open additional consulates in each other countries. Okay. And Biden administration, now this is a very important concern जो Indians के दिमाग में काफी टाइम से चल रहा था, that the issues of work visas, US work visas were very prevalent, especially during the Donald Trump administration. जब आपको H1B visas के बारे में पता चलेगा that it was very difficult for Indians to acquire H1B work visas. Now the Biden administration has promised that it will make it easier for skilled Indian workers to get US visas. Okay, so this is also a very groundbreaking development when we talk about the US-India relations. Okay. Apart from this, we have divided into segments all the cooperation agreements. The first segment we'll be covering is the defense. Now, what India and US have done in defense during this visit? One of the most important agreement we have reached is manufacturing of the F414 engines in India. So the agreement between General Electric and the Hindustan Aeronautics Limited, HAL, they have agreed to manufacture the F414 engines in India. अब F414 engines हमारे लिए इतने important क्यों हैं? First, because Boeing के दो aircrafts हैं, ठीक है? These are known as the Super Hornets. These are multi-role fighter aircrafts. They employ these engines, and India will be producing it, which means जितनी भी countries हैं जिन्होंने Super Hornets acquire किया हुआ है, apart from US, obviously. So you have Australia, which uses this aircraft. You have Bahrain, which uses this aircraft. ठीक है? Now India can supply engines to these countries also. However, more importantly, this engine is going to power the next generation Tejas Mark II aircrafts also. And that will be now produced in India itself by Hindustan Aeronautics Limited. So this is a huge development. The second big development, जो काफी टाइम से stall हो रहा था, it was acquiring of drones, and we are talking about MQ-9B Predator drones. Now, what are these Predator drones? These are high altitude, long endurance drones. ठीक है, short में HALE बोलते हैं. High altitude, they can stay at really high altitude. ठीक है, and they have a very high endurance. They can just stay there. They don't have to move. They can just stay. They can do surveillance and they can drop weapons also. ammunitions भी drop कर सकते हैं ये, okay? And this purchase, this acquisition was stuck from a long time. This acquisition is valued around $3 billion. However, the government has clarified that this is not a final price. This is a tentative price, okay? And India is said to be acquiring 31 of these drones. According to reports, initial reports, India is acquiring 31 of these drones, and this acquisition is done from the US company of General Atomics. Okay, so this is a very important development that India will get these MQ-9B Predator drones from US. And last but not the least, we have also launched the US-India Defense Acceleration Ecosystem, Indus X. Now, what is Indus X? Now, Indus X is a network of universities, startups, industries, and think tanks in the field of defense services and defense technologies. So they can both. So let's say there's a Indian company, a private company. They can join the Indus X. They can also benefit from companies of US origin joining this Indus X, and they can collaborate and come up with different technologies. यूएस की कोई कंपनी ज्वाइन करेगी इसको, इंडिया की भी कोई कंपनी इसको ज्वाइन करेगी, एंड दे कैन टुगेदर कोलैबोरेट विथ रिस्पेक्ट टू सर्टेन टेक्नोलॉजीज. और इससे होगा क्या, दैट देयर विल बी जॉइंट डिफेंस टेक्नोलॉजी इनोवेशन हियर. दोनों मिलके डिफेंस के फील्ड में इनोवेशन कर सकते हैं. ओके, सो दीज आर सम डिफेंस कोऑपरेशन न्यूज, ठीक है, व्हिच हैव कम आफ्टर द विजिट ऑफ पीएम मोदी ऑफ यूएस. नाउ मूविंग ऑन, apart from defense, technology is one of the most important fields जहां पर बहुत सारे development हमने देखे. And the first one was this acknowledgement of the initiative on critical and emerging technology. ठीक है, this was signed in Jan 2023, but this was formally launched right now. Okay, this already was decided कि हम एक critical and emerging technology में, ठीक है, will take a combined initiative. We both will come together to develop such a critical and emerging technology, and this has been now formally launched by both of these countries. Apart from this, we also have signed a memorandum of understanding when it comes to semiconductor supply chain and innovation partnership. This is one of the most important developments in this particular visit. Okay, and the consequence of this MOU, you can also see here that there are two companies. First, in Micron Technology, who will invest $800 million, ठीक है, and will come up with a semiconductor assembly and testing plant in Gujarat. Very important, very important initiative. This has been taken by Micron Technology. Okay, that Gujarat will get a semiconductor assembly and testing plant, जहां पर Micron Technology is also investing $800 million. This is actually more than $800 million in the official document. Okay, and second, which we see, the company, the US company Applied Materials, has also announced that they will build a semiconductor center for commercialization and innovation. Which, देखो अब यहाँ क्या हो रहा है, यहाँ पर you are making semiconductors. Okay, यहां पर क्या होगा, you will be innovating with respect to semiconductor technology. So these two deals are very important for India's semiconductor potential. And looking at how India has discovered lithium reserves in both Jammu and Rajasthan, okay, this is only going to help India's semiconductor progress. Okay, apart from that, we have also seen Google announcing, okay, so PM Modi also met Sundar Pichai, and Google has announced that they are investing $10 billion for India's digitization fund. Now, what is this digitization fund? This is a fund which is maintained by Google with the help of METI. And this India digitization fund is funding startups, especially in the field of AI and artificial or augmented reality. Okay, so startups are getting funded using this India's digitization fund. Moreover, they have also announced that they are going to establish a global fintech operation center in the gift city of Gujarat. So this is also a very important development coming from Google. So these are some of the important technological innovations, okay, technological cooperation agreements which India and US has reached during this visit of PM Modi. Next, moving on to space. Now, space में the most important thing you have to remember, which has happened this time, is India has agreed to sign the Artemis Accords. Okay, which means India will be also collaborating with US in the Artemis mission. I'm pretty sure you have watched those videos of Artemis mission. If you haven't, please go watch those videos. Okay. So India has signed the Artemis Accords, has also agreed to sign the Artemis Accord. Okay. This signature will be happening in future. So जब भी ये news है, please follow this news. Apart from this, these two space agencies in NASA and ISRO, they have also agreed on a joint mission to the International Space Station in the year 2024. Okay, so this is the update which has happened this time. इसके अलावा we are also collaborating in multiple positions. So we have a space situational awareness arrangement. ठीक है, अब ये है क्या exactly, which was signed in April 2022. Under this space situational awareness arrangement के अंदर ISRO and NASA are together collaborating, okay, to observe the space and any kind of incoming threats in asteroids, है ना? Even when we talk about the NETRA, the Network for Space Object Tracking and Analysis, ठीक है, this is the NETRA which was set up by ISRO, ठीक है, in Bangalore. US has its own tracking software, okay, called the Combined Space Operations Center, okay. They are working together to take care of space debris and any kind of destructions which can happen to satellites of these countries. ठीक है, space objects को track करने के लिए India and US is also collaborating together. Okay. Apart from this, we have also collaborated in the Chandrayaan-1 mission when US actually had sent 2 of their payloads on the Chandrayaan mission. The first is called the Moon Mineralogy Mapper, and the second is the Miniature Synthetic Aperture. Okay. Apart from this, we also see that when India launched the Mars Orbiter mission or the Mangalyaan, okay, US also had its own mission in MAVEN, which stands for Mars Atmosphere and Volatile Evolution. और ये दोनों mission separate national missions थे. However, both of the agencies were cooperating when it came to the Mars missions also. So India-US space cooperation has also been increasing, and you can see India is now trying to not move away from Russia, but they are trying to diversify their interest. Okay, so US se bhi we are trying to be close. We are also trying to be close with USSR. Okay, which was the initial motive of NAM, the non-alignment movement. Okay, so these are a couple of important agreements which have been reached during this visit of PM Narendra Modi. Okay, and this is going to hopefully make India and US relations much better. Thank you for attending. Have a great day.